Hi there, Poker Scandal on Huster Casino Live. If you haven't seen or living under a rock, basically a massive scandal involving possible cheating, possible collusion, possible sour grapes from Garrett Adelstein. I'm going to show you the hand in question and go through that with you. But it's all blown up on Twitter and YouTube. And I think Joey Ingram's still streaming at the moment, and Doug Polk's done his piece like he usually does. Let's get into it. I just want to say the people involved.
That's sick.
You mean like a big entrance and like Phil stacked him and then he was like, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Such
a great hand.
Garrett
and then Jason turned out to be like the superstar, which is
quite a deep game, as you can see.
Yeah.
Garrett's pulling his usual amount.
That was like one of his first TV appearances.
One of his first ones, yeah. That was like before he won all those tournaments. And,
funny.
Yeah.
Pause that right there. So I think Garrett opens the hijack to 3K. Robbi defends a little bit loose.
Wow, Robbi really mixing it up here, calling Garrett's raise with Jack 4 off. It's blind versus blind. And
so you can see the flops come 10-10-9 with two clubs. So Garrett's massive there, up and down straight flush draw. Robbi's got Jack 4. You can see the equity 70-30. See what happens on the flop.
Garrett here has flopped a straight flush draw, 10-10-9 with a couple clubs. He's going to bet 2,500. Wow, and Robbi's going to call here with
flop action. Garrett bets 2.5 and Robbi calls. It would be surprising. It's, you know, a lot of people would just give up right there, but I think they've got a little bit of a history from what I've gathered. So yeah, she calls 2.5.
Jack 4 with the Jack of clubs. Turn is a 3, puts backdoor hearts down. And this is usually when Garrett will lay the hammer down with combo draws. He's going to bet 10,000. I think Robbi should have probably been out of this hand pre-flop. She's got one club and one heart. And wow, look at this. What is she thinking about here? She gonna raise it.
Wow. You can see, guys, it's gone pretty wild already. Pots $41,000. The turns are 3 of hearts, and what's happened is Garrett's bet turn $10,000, and Robbi's just raised, straight up raised to 20,000. The min click. Pretty wild play there. You know, it's already brewing up to something. Let's see what happens on the.
We saw her raise Ace King a little bit ago for a min raise. Here she's gonna min click Jack 4, and you know Garrett is just so experienced.
Oh wait, hold on, let me scratch my face. That's the shit I got.
How often would she do this with the 10? Could he possibly bet 3-bet here? I mean, she just min-clicked the turn.
You gotta take this class.
If he calls, there'd be about 2 pot-sized bets left. So, I mean, that's what's got to be going through his head here. I think he's considering bet 3-betting, and yup, there's the all-in.
Wow.
There's the all-in.
It's a bet of 10k from Garrett on the turn. Robbi min clicks to 20. Garrett tanks for a little bit, rips what were essentially 130. I mean, calling makes sense too, but ripping is also fine, I presume. It's, you know, the equity's just so close. Even if she has a 10, even if Robbi has a 10, he's not gonna be that behind. I mean, she could play a 10 like that, but very, very strange line from Robbi, but Apparently she's a wreck, so I don't know her playing history, but we'll see what happens now.
Garrett, like I said, he's just so experienced in bet patterns, bet sizing.
I mean, surely
Sort of acted a little bit with Jack 8 of diamonds from a few rounds ago. Just gonna put a time chip out? She said that she thought Garrett had a draw about 20 minutes ago. Garrett had the full house, the queen 4 against Jack 8. And she took some time with it. And then she said,
I just want to call to see it. I think he might have me though. Three's no good? This is why you shouldn't be in hands like this.
she doesn't have a 3. So,
You want me to call you?
I don't know what she's thinking about here because she loses to some bluffs like king, queen, jack types of things too.
I call.
She calls?
Oh, I'm gonna pause that there.
For one.
She calls. I'm just shocked. I was shocked. Unless the graphics is wrong, because she said, "Is a 3 any good?" I mean, she only. This is only the one hand that he can have. She's marginally ahead. Maybe 8-5 clubs. Some goofball 8-7, 8-5, 8-6 of clubs. Maybe just naked 8-7. But that's absolutely crazy. And she calls. So this is obviously now, you know, it's ballooned to a massive pot here. We'll see what happens.
Once, but it's up to you. Yikes.
Oh my God!
Let's see the hands. So far, so good. It looks
Love
like
it.
you're ahead.
What is going on
Prefer
here?
once, but
See the
it's up to you.
commentators just what is going on?
Is it possible that her hand might be misread in the card graphics or
You
something?
Because I have a shitty hand.
You do? Yikes.
Okay.
You're still in like good shape and smiling.
No, I just thought he's. This is a pure bluff catcher. I'm dealing with right now.
With Jack high?
It's a pure
But,
bluff catcher.
but, yeah, I don't have.
Is Jack high a bluff catcher?
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
has to be.
We'll go to the river. The river is a 9.
That one's you for sure.
They're gonna run it
Unless you have, like, pocket
twice,
five
and
or
I think
something.
so.
she's
You have
gonna.
like small pair?
You give me that much credit?
I don't know.
Haven't you
What,
seen
She's
what I've
good
done?
with the first one.
Pairs counterfeited, so I don't know what Garrett's saying. That's definitely you.
No.
If the cards are correct.
What's it called?
Garrett
And the
brings
river
both.
bricks out again.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just
I didn't-
watch Garrett's face
I want
now.
to see.
Watch.
Does she have Jack 4?
Jackpot.
What? Look at
I'm gonna pause that there. That look there was the same look we all had, and obviously you can hear the people in the background going, just trying to like rub salt in it. He is just shocked that she's called off 100,000 with Jack high as a bluff catcher. Okay, let's just carry on playing. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Whoa, look at Garrett's face.
That's some fucking poker right there.
That was sick. Wow.
That was
Staring at him.
Oh,
Listen to what she says.
That is super, super strange. You can see his reaction. Like, what?
Ma'am. Very nice to you.
And he's just like,
fucking
what?
stupid.
Jacob, you look like you want to kill me. I'm not Jacob. You look like you want to kill me,
He
Jared.
wants to vomit.
I was not in the hand. I want to vomit.
He is silent. I've never seen him silent. When he's played at live on the bike, he's lost bigger parts. He takes it on
I'm
the
speechless.
chin.
I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, usually Garrett would
takes everything on the chin.
be fairly congratulatory
On the scheme of things,
if somebody made a hero call like that, but
He has a block.
he's obviously
he
felt
seems
like
somewhat
something's
disturbed
happened.
here
Something fishy's happened.
by what just happened. I don't.
Call of the year right there.
A journey through town can take a dark turn.
Get rid of the
It's literally like the sort of most disturbed look that I've ever seen Garrett give.
So you haven't seen it.
We can pause the film.
No, it's
Probably
what
with
happened.
Facebook, and
10,000
with
win
Twitter.
rates, 20. Shove the call.
And obviously, the reason why he would be that is how can she call?
What happens next?
I remember.
Like maybe he thinks that she saw his hand somehow. Or
Stoic.
I don't know.
Nothing. Ain't nothing happened.
The flop goes bet call. The turn goes bet raise shove call.
Like what? What do you mean, like rate?
128.3.
He's literally recapped that. Yeah, I apologise if you hate me moving this mouse. So raise pre call, bet call, bet raised shove call, and he's trying to work in his head how this possibly possible.
Before the flop.
128.3.
I think it was
This is the weirdest one I've ever seen.
Oh, look
I
at
don't
that.
understand sort of what's happening right now.
Andy.
They're counting the chips up. See, obviously,
My Jack was in a club.
she's doing this up. Now the table's gone silent.
What do you mean if your jack was in a club?
Yeah, blocker.
You know you've let me do this to you several times now.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened.
I'm just testing it.
Yeah.
And
This
you just
doesn't
keep
seem super
letting me
funny
do
to
this.
me,
And
honestly,
no,
at all,
like
but how much money is
when you bet that like high big
Yeah.
stack, why do you go on?
That you can tell that the mood of the table quickly changes because it's getting a little bit nasty now. He like, you know, it's getting a bit horrible.
I don't need to
Twice.
say.
I thought you were on ace high. Ace high.
And then so why call with jack high then?
First of all, a little bit of a straight draw. I have blockers.
No, on the turn though. So you called all in on the turn because.
Yeah, because you don't have shit.
Okay, so recap that little conversation there. He's asking, "What did you think I have?" She says, "Ace high, possibly ace high," and obviously, being poker players, so why would you call off with jack high? So that ring alarm bells already. But bear in mind, this is a big game, and she's not used to playing in these sorts of games, so she's probably a bit flustered getting interrogated. She's won a massive pot. She's getting interrogated by Garrett, who thinks he's, you know, the best player in the world.
That's right. She
You don't
thinks you
have
can't beat a
shit.
jack high.
It's not about what I have. It's about what I don't think you have when you.
She does say, after, I thought you had fuck all, pardon my language. So 8-7, who knows? 8-7 off, 8-6, as I mentioned before.
You play against me. That's
You
it.
didn't think you had jack queen of clubs.
75.
In our mind,
You let me do
having
this
a
to you
jack of
post stream
clubs,
too.
blocking
Last time we played.
flushes, the whoever's eight,
And
jack
keep
8,
letting me.
you know, jack X clubs, queen jack of clubs, you know. That's how a professional poker player or like a avid poker player would
I mean,
think.
obviously, I'll just say that Garrett thinks that this hand was not straight in some way. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Like this happens.
This is the most disturbed I've ever seen Garrett look at the table. And I think Andy's disturbed too. He doesn't. If you looked over there, it's like, whoa, what just happened here?
You're not the only one that gets lucky sometimes, Garrett. You don't have to get that upset.
Now, like, the table's getting a bit awkward now.
Robbie did that for Andy.
poker.
Robbi did that for Andy last night. She did that for you.
And he's going to
Honestly, I don't know what's going on right now.
Yep.
listening.
Andy.
I'm just going to pause that there. Listening to, because Robbi has gone on, you can see here, look on Joe Ingram's stream. She has said that Garrett makes moves on everyone. She just wants to play back at him. Yeah, let's see what the rest of
That can't, like, that's not a poker hand.
That wasn't. I played you and not the hand.
Yo,
What's the
Jack,
problem?
what
I played you.
This
So
is
don't
absolutely
let me
blown up
play
in
you.
the pink world.
Just don't let her play you.
Not my
I ran it
possible.
twice because I didn't.
We haven't got weeks and weeks of footage where he's literally right every time, you know, so
Jack High could be good.
Oh, like,
whatever you
that's
think,
like, you have bigger balls than most.
But it was.
I know.
just like
And
how
most men
likely
just
is
left me.
it
And I'm used to it.
cheating in front of the biggest
It's a
game?
situation
This is
where
the-
it's
this
like-
is not like a local game that might possibly
Is it
be.
possible that she just doesn't know?
This is the biggest
This is what's got to be going through Garrett's mind.
Right
You're the
now,
only one in it with me.
the streamers have gone crazy.
Does she just not know that she can't call with Jack High there, and that a bunch of bluffs beat her,
That's gonna make you.
or was the hand not straight in some way?
We are on YouTube.
No, but I mean, it's gonna be a clip.
The dealers, it's sort of
This is
okay, so you can't-
But both Garrett and Andy,
Yeah, of
all on
course,
its
can't.
own right
It's
there.
insane. It's insane, but you know,
Fucking amazing.
played with someone like that.
think that something's up.
Insane, like,
Amazing.
it's I said it happens. It's happened to all of us at our local games, local casino, local card rooms, but not for this amount. But you know, this amount is probably insignificant to these people that are sat around here. So the table's gone a bit quiet. Well, I'm gonna probably close that right there, because what happens next is allegedly. So Ryan and Nick, co-producers of the show, because Garrett basically steams off at this point, and because he thinks something fishy's gone on here. Yeah, and spoke to Nick and Ryan, and they managed to get Robbi. Let's get Robbi. They managed to get Robbi aside off stream, so they can have a chat with her. Now, allegedly, what had happened was Robbi was pressured to give the money back because Garrett had this death stare on the table, and he felt that he was cheated. There was some sort of cheating going on, alleged cheating going on. So Robbi just gave that money back, 130,000, I think, and allegedly she gave that money in chips back to Garrett, and she was short 5k and made her grab another 5k, and yeah, he then left the table at some point, and all because she basically what reason why she gave back, because everyone's wondering why would you give money back if you are not guilty, do you know what I mean? So but on Joey's stream, what she said was basically she wants to go back on stream, start playing poker and sort of like in poker circles in the bigger games, and Garrett's this gatekeeper. He's the headline of the show, so don't want to upset him, yada yada. But she felt really pressured and give that money back. So what I'm going to do now is look at Garrett's Twitter here, just to update you guys. Let's have a look. I've briefly looked at it. Let's have a look. So he has basically, I'm not going to read it all, but basically he says this is a thought of what happened last night. He says poker is extreme comedy and a nuanced game. I don't fault anyone who watched the hand and doesn't conceptually understand how it's possible to call it on there on the turn. But I would give a very brief explanation, an explanation that Robbi fully understands if you watch her 11 hours of footage, prior footage. It goes on to the hand, basically, as we discussed, Jack 4 on that board, very little equity, free bet. Yeah, okay. So a lot of hand stuff there. Won't go into that, but yeah, feel free to read that. So he says here, this is quite interesting here. Furthermore, I've played and reviewed the stream from other two prior sessions that with this player. He says this player. He doesn't actually name her, which is kind of clever. It's like he doesn't want to name that person in case any legal ramifications. Not only did she never consider making a call anywhere close to this before, but she says often folded bluff catches to river bets. So what he's saying there is basically it's inconsistent what she's doing, which is fair. You know what I mean? It's she's kind of like quite a solid player, nitty player, if you want to say that. And now all of a sudden she's playing 10 times stack size compared to what she was calling before. Okay. That's just like the other bit there. Calling an over a huge over shove with no pair, no draw. So he's kind of like breaking the hand down like how we all see it, which is like his I'm going to use air quotes, evidence. I'm aware of the scariest easy way for someone to cheat on live stream is to have a hidden device that simply vibrates to indicate that you have the best hand. Now this goes back to Mike Postle's alleged cheating at Stone's Casino maybe a year ago. I'm sure there was plans to min raise. I'm sure the plan was to min raise the turn and win the hand on the river, where if I don't improve. Yeah, true, but what's stopping you to flat calling turn Garrett? Yeah, okay. And if she was kind of like bluffing, wouldn't she raise a bit larger? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's just like poker analysis. Another common way of cheating is has some amp technology. Again, that's just going back to the Mike Postle thing. Okay, a little bit of Hustlers Casino Live precautions are misguided. Alright, okay. So after hand her body language and word salad explanation on why she called the turn on camera extremely suspicious. Now I thought that too initially. I really thought she couldn't explain why she called. She's like, oh, I thought you had ace high. If you had ace high, you wouldn't call. But you think about it, she's like, if you imagine you're on the biggest game live stream and thousands of people watching you, you'll be a little bit nervous as well. I mean, so you'll be bumbling your words like me on this video. So take that as you may, I would say. After giving a couple of jabs on about how she outplayed me, she immediately becomes very defensive rather than with nervous chatter. Putting it all together, I immediately felt concerned about foul play. So basically, as what we saw, he was in shock. He's lost a big pot and is like, what the F with Jack High? I got called down with Jack High. So he's kind of saying the hand doesn't make sense. No one would ever play like that, which a lot of people would agree on. A little bit of like her body language and how she couldn't explain what's the reason behind playing like that. So yeah, that's basically why he's come to that conclusion. I just want to say, a lot of people would think that way too, but if someone was to cheat, would they actually do that on the biggest game? No, really, on the biggest game and on the turn where her equity, even if she's slightly ahead, would she do that on the turn? But obviously, if she did that on the river and she called down Jack High, that would be also suspicious as well. So, unless what some people have suggested on Twitter is that if someone was cheating and you can tell running it twice, both rivers, you still win, then obviously you're gonna shove turn and run it twice. But it doesn't seem like that's happened. So this is now he's saying he's had a chat with Ryan. most of the conversation was basically off camera. Now this is important because, you know, he's obviously got his image to protect, so he's gone off camera speaking to Ryan, saying, look, something's messed up, something's fucked up's happened. So how this is important. At this point, we're all about to start walking back towards the stage, as I didn't know what else to do at this point. When she says to me, do you want me to pay out money? Pay you back what you lost in that hand. So knowing A, this was likely to be close as I would get a confession, and B, how impossible it is to get refund in this cheating scandal. Postle being best example, so he's quoting Mike Postle here. So he's saying he's not asked for the money and she's offered that money. So, and this has been confirmed by her on Joey's stream. But however, she says it's under sort of some sort of duress and pressure, which, you know, wouldn't be right. You know, you can't just the casino needs to do something about that, because the casino has a duty of care to these people. You know, everyone gambling in the casino. So I don't think the casinos handle that very well at all. And you know, Garrett shouldn't take the money. If he suspects cheating, and he can at some point prove that, he can take legal recourse after that. So I don't know. It all looks a bit shady on both parts. You know, it's whatever. Okay, so that's basically what's happened here. Garrett. So Garrett's saying, so to sum up, Garrett's basically analysed the hand, says it's very unlikely anyone play like that in these stakes. After looking at footage of how she's played on other streams, she's now making this crazy insane move on me, which basically doesn't add up unless someone's cheating. Had a chat with the producers, then she's offered the money to keep him happy, and that was that, really. That's basically what's happened in his Twitter. But what we would do is let's close that. Let's see what Robbi. So Robbi has since then. Jade. Ooh, so Jade. We have to edit this heavily after. So apparently Garrett's blocked me, guilty as charged. What a nice man. He cornered me and threatened me. If he has the audacity to give me death stare on camera, picture what he would do off camera. I was pulled out of the game and forced to speak to him in a dark hallway. Full details to come. That's pretty damning, you know. I mean, for a woman, or anyone really, to be pulled off to one side, and on the face of it, it looks pretty using it's quite strong words here. Threatened me. See, like, there's the lights coming on here. So yeah, and then obviously the latest one, Garrett, after an idea, after I've been vindicated, let's go heads up. Whole world can catch me. So I did actually reply and say to Robbi, as a joke, Robbi, they should play heads up naked so no one can hide any devices in their caps and rings. You can see it's all blowing up on Twitter. Robbi Jade Lew. Just want to check the Hendon mob. Yeah, she has confirmed on Joe Ingram's stream that she's only started playing in 2021, and all these results prior is a Robert Lew, who Hendon mob in their infinite wisdom has merged the two accounts, which has happened to a lot of my friends, because she's never stepped foot in Nebraska, or whether this is Lincoln, never been there. So whoever this Robert Lew is, get in touch. Joe Ingram's looking for you, I'm looking for you. Yeah, so this is, so she does play like a reasonably, looking at it, reasonably high stakes for me anyway. I mean, quite decent buy-ins. But on this stream, she's been backed by Rip for 50% of the action. what that means is she's been staked, essentially. But apparently she's into biotech. She's quite well off. Her husband's quite well off as well. So that's that way. Just want to listen to her here. Whether she's gonna, I did ask on Joey's stream whether she's gonna take any legal advice. So let's play that.
Test Gamer wants to know if you'll take legal action.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat? Am I going to take legal action with who?
First Class Gamer said, will she take legal action? I'm assuming with either Garrett for some of the statements that he's made, or potentially for the Hustler, or for anyone else involved.
I think people want me to. I don't see why I would have to be doing that right now. I think we need to let the investigation continue as it is, and I think that Nick made it pretty clear that they're doing everything in their power to get the truth out first and foremost. And if anything strange seems to happen as a consequence to the actual investigation that doesn't align with whatever some people feel, I think we'd have to like deal with it then. But I don't think that it's going to be necessary as far as I'm concerned. And I do think that if the truth comes out, that I would hope that Garrett would make it right. And if he doesn't, I mean, I guess we'll take it from there. But right now, you know, whatever the statement he made, I have to be like, that was obviously a statement made that very night as well. I think that one of the things everybody can learn from this, and I often am always reminded, is like, take a moment to step back before you make like an impulsive comment or spill your emotional, understanding of what you think transpired, because oftentimes you just need to like clear your head and really think through what it was. So I don't know what, to be honest, like, I'm not reading everything on Twitter. It's like, if you looked at my inbox, there's like thousands of people. I'm skimming through it, and it's mostly it's really 95% of support. And it's nice to read, but I couldn't even get through it all. And what I just did was tweet how I was feeling, which is like, gosh, let's play some poker, let's play some heads up. And if Garrett continues to accuse me of something after the investigation, I think I'd have to think about then what I would need to do. But I do think that all parties involved do trust that Hustler Casino will do the necessary like investigation and approach to this that it demands, and ultimately the truth will come out. And I think that I would think that we're all man enough and mature enough to accept the truth when it does.
$20 from Mike Blocksage. Someone said about asking questions.
Well, thank you, Joey, for asking that question to Robbi on your stream. You had thousands of people watching you, and I just want to say, don't leave Garrett or Robbi any horrible, don't leave them any horrible messages. Whatever side you fall on, just don't be mean. Don't leave horrible messages, anything vulgar, anything like that. Let things play out. Let the truth come out, as Robbi said. We haven't yet to hear what Garrett said as well. So I think Robbi did say she's going to do a video at some point, because everyone wants to know what really happened to that. But yeah, I asked basically whether she was gonna take any legal action, because it's a lot of money. There's a lot of money. You can't just take someone's money like that, especially under duress and that. And if there's any allegation of cheating, then it's quite a serious thing, in the poker industry and any gambling industry. So yeah, I mean, in that case, really, I just want to know where they stand. But it's quite raw at the moment, and she's just can keep her options open. But I did reach out to her just to say to her, well, if she's gonna consider legal action, I wouldn't probably best not to speak to post things online and anything that can cause issues legally. So chat's just absolutely popping off on Joe's stream. It's going to be crazy few days. I do want to sum up what my feelings on the matter. By all means, this is just what I think, and no one's guilty. No one's of anything at the moment. I really do think that it's crazy. Whatever happens, this is the craziest thing I've seen in a poker hand, a poker scenario, because just the nature of the hand, how it ran out, like both run outs, Garrett loses. You know, if Garrett won that, we wouldn't be here talking about that. Obviously, if it was chop again, it wouldn't happen. You know, nothing would come to this. But it happened that she won both runouts. And it's just crazy play. You know, a lot of people would fold Jack 4 pre-flop, fold flop, c-bet, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's just all surreal, really. And it seems like something from a movie. But if you think about it, I really don't think the likelihood that she cheated is a lot lower than what happened in the hand, because I've seen some crazy plays and she just genuinely did want to like make a name for herself and really want to play against Garrett. So I just think that, and also you can see she's right on the stream. She's not hiding, she's not running away, she's not Mike Postle, she's not, you know, guilty people hide and run. Robbi, you know, she's confident what she says. She's gone on Joe Ingram's stream and Rip's been on there. They genuinely sound like they didn't do anything wrong, because people that lie and cheat, they make mistakes. You know, they'll stutter. Things don't add up. You know, when you start questioning them, and that kind of happened a little bit at the table straight after hand. She like, oh, I thought I had a 3. I had Jack 3, and then she changed her story to this, and it's all inconsistent. But you know, who wouldn't be like that if you're being interrogated on a live stream, and everyone, you know, there's thousands of people watching. So I don't know. I really do think that there isn't really foul play at all. It's just a crazy play. She wanted to make a crazy play, and it worked. That's what I genuinely think. And obviously Garrett, and I don't blame Garrett to think that something's happened, because it's like no one in their mind would play that plays poker. But we could bear in mind Robbi is a recreational player. It's a lot of money, you know, despite what Hendon Mob says. So, you know, she's played low stakes, but she does play high stakes. She does well for herself in the business. But yeah. The main takeaway for me is I really don't think Garrett should have taken that money. You know, it's you know, if you lost that on the table, if you think something foul happened, you deal with it afterwards. So I really think that, I hope something gets resolved in that point of view, but who knows? But that's my take on it. And again, you know, anyone wants to leave a comment and just anything you want to discuss, just put it in the chat after I edit this video, because I'm out of breath talking about this for 40 minutes. But stay safe and be kind, and enjoy the poker news.